Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Today, we got a cool top deck for you that we're going to be covering. Very, very excited to see this one. This one in particular is of the Wizards deck list that they're starting to show in terms of getting 6+ wins in a row and sharing those lists. I think it's on a weekly basis, so pretty happy to cover this one. As you know, I like to cover unique things, and this one is definitely interesting and one that I've been brewing around with in the past. So before we go and cover this deck, one other call out. After today's episode, make sure you stick around. I did have a match against Frank Karsten. So for those of you that don't know, Frank is a member of the Magic the Gathering Hall of Fame and considered one of the game's foremost analytical minds and writers. I believe they write for Wizards, actually. So supposedly all but retired from competitive or pro play, but I did catch a match with him. I'm not going to tell you the results here yet, but you guys should absolutely go check that out. It was a great match. So with that said, Planeswalkers, let's go ahead and hop into our deck here in a second. But before we do so, I just want to say thank you as always. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, if you like the video, please like it. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay up to date on content like this. Additionally, you can stay in touch by following my Untapped profile and see how my journey is going on a day over day, hour over hour, minute over minute basis if you'd like. So, all right, Planeswalkers, what deck do we have today? Well, my friends, we have a Rakdos Aggro deck. So I'm very excited about this. This was something that I was actually considering toying around with and did toy around with early out of the gate when we had this going on. So I was pretty excited about it to see that this was one of the decks that did 6+ wins in terms of what Wizards releases. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to this, and it's definitely picked up some gas in terms of the Zendikar's Rising pieces as well, because particularly a lot of these cards came out of the Ikoria set. So quickly here, for those of you that are new, this Rakdos set is black and red or swamp and mountains to give us a Rakdos clan, and then additionally it is an aggro deck because the majority of the stuff is under 3 casting cost, as you can see, and it's all about the need for speed. Now, the goal of this deck is taking down your opponents as early and as fast as possible, and we'll cover some of the key components of this deck in a minute because there are some real good ones in here. But before we do, as always, Planeswalkers, the deck list is available for you down below in the description. Additionally, there are links for you there for the deck list as well. All right, so let's see what we got going on here, and then we'll come back and talk about the list in the main board, and then we'll talk about the best of 3 sideboard, and then we'll talk about how to sideboard, and then we'll bring this into some competitive Magic. We may, I think, hit Mythic still. Otherwise, it's going to reset because while I'm doing this, we're going live over that. So we'll see. Definitely, we'll finish in the mid 90s in terms of Mythic today. So very happy about that. All right. So what do we got going on here? Well, first off, we got Thieves Guild Enforcer. So we got Flash. This creature, obviously, many of us know this from the Dimmer Rogues deck. But again, enters in. We get our opponent mills 2, and then if there are 8 or more, we get +2/+1 and Death Touch. So this card is very important here, and we'll talk about this in a minute. Next, we got Fervent Champion. Again, haste. Other knights get a +1/+0, and then equipment we can attach for 3 or less. Then we got Robber the Rich. So again, utilizing the aggro speed, pulling in the haste and the reach. A lot of people always forget about reach. But then, again, if our opponents have more cards, the opportunity to potentially cast our opponent's cards. And this works really well against low decks like the Dimmer Rogues deck, as well as other aggro decks like Mono Red. Now, here is the beginning of one of the new key components, particularly in this deck. Menace. So Labyrinth Raptor. So this was one of the cards that I was talking about that I wanted to brew around early in Ikoria. Just couldn't find the way. I think this deck could definitely be the way, particularly in the new standard meta that we have going on here. So this creature is Menace. Whenever a creature we control with Menace becomes blocked, defending player sacrifices a creature blocking it. So that is huge and really important. And then we can pump like Fire, which is the breather for the dragons, where the For usually 1 red, you can pump it for +1/+0, or other mechanic costs like that, or activation costs. But here we can pump all creatures we control with menace with +1/+0, or +1/+0 until end of turn. So very, very big, and this creature is not legendary. So good things to remember there. Additionally, now we have Stormfist Crusader in here. So it's going to get the pump from Fervent. We're also going to have Menace, and then we get the card advantage and the draw advantage here. I mean, obviously our opponents are still going to get it, but generally in our aggro decks, this tends to be more of a beneficial card versus something that's going to hurt us. We got our Shatter Skull Smashing again. For our mortal land, so we can either deal damage, or we can tap, or we can pay 3 and have that come in. We got Black Bloom Rogue here. So this is another menace creature. If our opponents have 8 or more cards in their graveyards, it gets +3. So we get a 5/3 menace creature for 3. Very, very good. Additionally, again, we got a mortal land. Then we have Call of the Death Dweller, so the ability to pull cards back from our graveyard, return up to 2 target creature cards with total converted mana cost 3 or less from our graveyard to the battlefield. We can put a Death Touch counter and a Menace counter on top of them, so fitting very, very well into this deck. We have Woe Strider, so we got some ability here for deck smoothing by sacrificing our own creatures, and then scrying. We get the goat card. We get some ability if we're playing rogues or other things to bring this creature back with the escape, and making a much, much larger creature as well. And additionally, we can bring it back with our lovely Call of Death Dweller here too. We got Demonic Embrace, so the ability to go above and fly over. Now this is a great one-off in the deck, and makes it very nice in terms of situational. Again, against mill decks, the ability to pull this back is going to be very powerful for us. Hunted Nightmare. So this card is awesome. A lot of people forget about this. It's a very fast, powerful 3-drop. It's got Menace. The problem is when we do bring this in, if our opponents have a creature, we got to give them a Death Touch counter. But a 4/5 is going to dodge a ton of things. So lots of things to consider and remember here. It's pretty important. This is a huge body that's going to rack things up relatively quickly. Valakut Awakening. So here we can put any number of cards from our hand on the bottom of our library and put that card +1. So a great, again, ability with a mortal land that can either enter as a land, or we can cast this at instant speed to then switch up our hand and hopefully get some card advantage there as well. Agadeem's Awakening, so we can bring a bunch of creatures back from the graveyard. Very, very powerful. And then lastly here, Tentative Connection. So this is super powerful. I like this better than Claim of the Firstborn if we have Menace. So we can actually gain control of any creature, not just one that is a certain cost or less, which is 3 with Claim, but here we can pay 1 and then take something really, really big. We could take a Gargaroth or something else. And what a lot of people forget, we still have the sack engine here. So we can pull their creatures and we can sack them, which is going to make a lot of people pretty upset. So really, really excited about this deck. We got a lot of great things going on here. We also have 15 lands, so very, very aggressive, but we do have 22 plus 24 modal lands there. So, plus this one too. So very, very good in terms of land mana base, very aggressive. I think you guys are going to enjoy this deck. I'm definitely looking forward to playing it today here in both best of 1 and best of 3. Let's go ahead and talk about the sideboard now, because that's going to be important for us that like to play best of 3. So I think you'll find a common theme here as well. So first we have Duress. So where am I going to play Duress? Well, this card, our opponents reveal their hand. We choose non-creature, non-land from that, and that player discards that card. So first, this can be great against any of the Orient decks. This would be great against any control deck, particularly Azorius. Anything running blue, you're going to want to play this as well. And you're going to want to play this against general control decks like the Grixis, obviously that holds blue. And you may want to play this against Rakdos midrange kind of a thing. So very, very powerful against some more of the late game decks. Very, very important. Now here's Mutual Destruction. So when I talked about the Thieves Guild Enforcer earlier on, here is the amplified card with this. So this card is lost and long forgotten, I think, and it's very, very underused. I think this is something that's very, very powerful and should be considered in a lot more decks, particularly Flash, particularly in the Rogues decks. When we have something with Flash, this spell has Flash, so it's not sorcery, it becomes instant speed. We can sacrifice our own creature, and then we can destroy target creature. Very powerful, very, very powerful. And additionally, if you have tokens, this thing does absolute work, and very, very cheap to cast, as you can see. So you're going to want to play this against creature-based decks, like Rogues, Mono Red, Gruul decks, any other aggro decks, Boros Knights decks, those kinds of things. This is going to be a good one for you to be playing. Next, we got Claim of the Firstborn. So I already talked about this in terms of this bad boy here, Tentative Connection, but you do have additional claims. So where are you going to play this? You're going to absolutely play it against the creature-based decks, the aggro-based decks, and get this puppy in there. And if you got those Boros Warriors, you got 8 suckers to steal our opponent's creatures. They're not going to be too happy. You're going to be able to hit in. You're going to be able to sack, and we're going to have a great, great game. So again, things that we covered already: Mono Red, Mono Green, Boros Knights, Dimmer Rogues, as well as the Gruul decks. So lots of areas that we can play these things. Next, Agonizing Remorse. So again, going back like Duress, we're going to want to play this against things like Esper Control, Esper Doom Foretold decks. You're going to want to play this against Azorius. You're going to want to play this against Grixis Control. You're going to want to play this against even the Rakdos Control deck or mid-range. Lots of areas to play this. Particularly, I would play this against decks that are running escape creatures, because then we can, instead of taking the card out of the hand, you can take it out of the graveyard and go poof like that, and you'll be good to go. Next, we have Null Priest of Oblivion. So where would I play this? I would play this when you need to get life back. Also, when you're playing creature-heavy decks. Additionally, that ability, again, to recall something from your graveyard that you really need. The other spot that I would play this is Dimmer Rogue. So again, the ability to pop something back that you may need. 6 mana is a lot to get there, but it will help you in some of those later games. And this is actually one of my favorite cards in Zendikar Rising. Call of the Death Dweller. We already got 2 main board. You got a 3rd here that you can add in. Again, similar style. Anything that is running aggro, this isn't bad. The other thing that I would consider this one for is late game. So anything that's running board wipes, particularly the white board wipe card or running white, like Azorius decks, you may want to run this because this will give you a lot of guys back from that graveyard. So we got a lot of opportunity here, a lot of things that we can play very, very quickly, and going to be very, very helpful for us. So quickly here, let's talk about how we're going to board, because this is going to be really important for those, again, that are playing best of 3. So we'll talk about the aggro here first, then we'll cover kind of the mid-range, and then we'll talk about the late game stuff. So first, aggro. Again, very strong. If we know that they're creature-based, I definitely go Claim of the Firstborn. You may want to consider Mutual Destruction, and then maybe even call it Death Dweller. So let's go 6. We'll go 6 cards here that you want to swap out or swap in. I would actually maybe drop Hunted Nightmare, and I would do this because obviously they're creature-based, and giving them a death touch counter could hurt you more, but it could be a trade-off here as well. So a couple things to consider there. I would either do that, or I'd maybe even consider dropping Modal Land, which could be really, really risky, but something that I don't mind doing, because you guys know that I'm very risky on the land, so this deck fits in perfectly. The other thing that you could do as well is you could swap in maybe in spot of Robber the Rich, but I do like stealing creatures. So those are some good spots for you. You're going to want to definitely keep Woe Strider in. You could consider dropping Call of the Death Dweller if you wanted, and not running Call of the Death Dweller, and be more focused on taking out your opponent's stuff with things like Mutual Destruction or Claim as well, and then use your Null Priest instead. That's kind of how I think about that. Next, in terms of our deck, we're going to talk about the mid-range stuff. So this is going to be things like the Rakdos mid-range, some of the counter decks. Gruul is relatively quick, but sometimes I like to consider it slightly, the Adventures deck slightly, again, in terms of some of those more mid-rangey type decks, you're going to want to run Agonizing Remorse to pull those things out, get rid of the exile, particularly if they're running those lovely escape creatures. Croxa for one, this can be real important. You could consider running a Duress as well, and maybe even Claim of the Firstborn if they are more creature heavy, to help you kind of really optimize your board state and get that control, and then also getting rid of those threats that are going to make an impact on your deck. So where would I then try and move things around? I would actually consider moving out some more of the lower end stuff here in terms of this deck. So you're gonna begin to shift a little bit more. Instead of being a little bit faster, you're gonna want to actually try and go more mid-rangey yourself with this deck, with some of that control. So not necessarily fully going under, but the other spot that you could consider obviously is Tentative Connection. So you got two areas you can pull from. You can pull from the later side of the deck or the early side of the deck, and either go more mid-range or keep the aggro mid-range kind of a thing. So it's really going to depend on how heavy I would say they're creature-based. Lastly here, we got the late game decks, the Yorion decks, those kinds of things, control decks. You're going to want to go Duress, and you're going to want to go Agonizing Remorse. And where I would drop is Tentative Connection, because they're obviously, again, not going to be running a ton of creatures. You're going to want to go real quick if you can on those late game things. Something that you could consider cutting, because it's probably not going to really matter too much, would be something like a Demonic Embrace. If they're not running a lot of creatures, Hunted Nightmare is going to be a huge friend of yours. And then you may even want to consider maybe cutting a Black Bloom Rogue kind of a thing too. So Planeswalkers, we talked about the deck, main board best of one. We talked about the sideboard. We talked about how to sideboard for best of three. We covered off of kind of the objective of the deck, plus the nomenclature or naming convention of the deck. If you have questions still, please let me know down below. I'm always happy to help and answer. Additionally, deck lists down below for you, so if you have questions or looking for the deck, you have the links, or you can copy and paste directly there as well. Let's go ahead and play some competitive Magic. I'm very excited, as you can tell, about playing this deck for you here today. All right, let us jump into it. Oh, there it is. So right in the middle of the season, so we're going to be kicking off right to a nice one. Let's get some nice packs here, you guys. Ooh, I will take that. 7 Zendikar Rising, and we are back at Platinum. Well, for fun, should we crack these packs real quick? I apologize. Uh-oh. We might be filled up on our... We are. Uh-oh. I did it. Maybe we'll get some mythics. Now I'm getting that nice craft fodder for you guys. Sorry for the detour, but we're going to do this real fast. Uh-oh. And no, I'm not trying to brag that I have all the rares. I was actually slightly surprised that I did, but that's how it goes. Maybe we'll pick up our one mythic. I think it's 1 in 7. Uh-oh. Maybe this should be our mythic one here. So I'm happy that I made those mage colors. Uh-oh, nothing. Look at that. Terrible odds. That's okay, but we are full. So let's go ahead and hop into it here, my friends, and play our mythic matches. Well, now technically this is gonna be mythic. So standard rank. There's that Jeskai control deck you guys should absolutely check out if you haven't already. Here we go with our Rakdos Aggro deck. All right, and we're off with our Rakdos Aggro deck here, my friends, for best of one. Quickly here with the season reset before we do, I think that's IDC or maybe JDC. Just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support as always. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can also like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this. All right, so we got a turn 1 play. We don't have a turn 2, so we'll drop Mountain Fervent, go that 2 into 3, and we'll see how this goes. And we're first. I love those sleeves. 1 second. There we go. And we are onto the gate with our aggro, green aggro. I will trade. Nope, they didn't want to trade. That's good. Didn't want to give him Death Touch yet. There we go. We will eat that one. I will take that. Actually, let's do that. We'll do this. So this is a Boros Knights deck, equipment deck. Look at that. All right. Oh, I love Standard, my friends. We'll go there. And we'll block. So let's see what we got going on here. We'll take the robber. I will do this. Let's see, they should put it on Fireblade. That's fine. I'll take 6. All right, so let's swing in, see what we can do. I could also pump, so that's going to be 3, 5, 8. I'm gonna save it and pull low back. Ooh. So they did not do that, which is what I was not thinking would happen. So we will do this. And we will do that. I'll keep that one. We'll do this. We'll grab these two. Alright, let's see how they play this. A block there. So I gotta deal 6, or we got it. Boom! Alright, Rakdos Aggro taking down our best of 1, starting off to a great start here for the November season. Oh man, time flies, my friends. We will take that. Alright, on to our second match here with our Rakdos Aggro deck. A lot of fun, a lot of thinking there. And we'll continue to try and talk through these decks. As always, Nidell it is. Let's see how this goes. Ooh, that is not a good start. As much as I would love to have multiples there, we will have to do this. Alright, we'll keep this. We can take the 2. I'll get rid of that. Probably should have kept that one actually and dumped that one because we need the double there. That's fine. I'll figure it out. Ooh, mono green it is, my friends. So we'll be doing that. We'll do... keep that off the board. I'm going to put Thieves Guild in first. Ah, food deck. Alright, this is going to be an interesting one for sure. I'm going to get Robber in first. So they can at least feed on their own cards, I guess. Another Scooze. There you go. And we don't have that yet. The one thing you could put in this deck could be an Embercleave too. I think that would make a nice finish. Ooh. We are sitting in a rough spot right now. Which is unfortunate, my friends. There we go. I really really wish that I had a sack here. So let's see here. 11. I'd take that guy. So we'll have 4. Not gonna have enough damage quite yet, but we'll see. Try again. Not quite there yet. Interesting that they block because they can only pull that back on their turn. So that helped us. That really helped us. They wanted the draws though. That's fine. Nothing of a lot of value there. Got some deck then, I guess. And they can pull back some of their guys. We can get, if we would have had our sacker out, it's been a different ball game. That's how it works. So here we go. That gave us a lot of value. Very happy about that. And they sack it on the stack, which is nice. Not having that second black is killing us though. So they don't have lethal yet. We can block a bunch of stuff here, still. It's a good match, though, despite the fact that we are not running well in this one. One of the challenges with the mana base, though, for sure, when being very aggressive. There. can block. Oh, we only need to block one. Block like that. Let's see what we get next hand. If we get our stuff back, bring her back. Oh, bummer, 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 bummer. All right, we'll call it a good game. On to our best of 3 match here. So we split 1-1. We beat a Boros Knights deck, a little bit different there with the equipment. Or Warriors, actually. Sorry, Boros Warriors deck. And then we also then lost to the mono green food deck, which you guys can check out. So, all right. On to our best of 3 here. So traditional standard ranked. Rakdos Aggro. And we are off Planeswalkers for our best of 3 match. As always, just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Before we play Trey Marks the Spot, please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. I appreciate it. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can also like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this. All right. Here we go. We will keep this. I will even slow play it. Oh, Trey. So I'm actually going to play the Triumph first, as I would like to get Stormfist on, to get the draws going fast. Getting 2 lands is optimal in our starting hand. Obviously, we saw with the last match some of the problems we can run into, though. Ooh. So we could go with a double Fervent here. But I think we do this. Ooh. Nice. So we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. And then let's do that. Nice turn 3. Let's see what they put. So what do we do here? We can go 3, 2. We can knock those 2 off. I think we do the 2. up here still. Nice. Alright, so we can go call. Boom! There we go. Alright. On to our next match. So this is going to be interesting. So they have creatures. Creature. I am going to drop the claims of the firstborns. And grab the mutual destructions. Grab the null priest. I'm also gonna grab my own call. I'm gonna drop the hunted nightmares. We still want the flyer. So we got 4 we gotta get rid of. I want to keep this, want to keep this, I'm going to keep all this. Tentative's still good. I want that. This one worked out. Let's drop 2 of those. How many lands does that put us at? 15 plus 2, 5, 6... 8, 23. We're gonna want that. Maybe we drop 2 of those just in case. There we go. I think that will work nicely. Okay, Planeswalkers, there we go. I'm excited. I'm excited. So it's a mono black enchantments deck that we're playing here. We're okay. We're okay here. Now, if we get 2 of these down, I think it's going to be a double sack, potentially. So we'll see if we can make it work. That'd be really nice if it is a double sack. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Alright, I'll try again. They got a real nice start there. Gotta shut their engine down. Now, the better play would have been actually steal their guy and then do that. So I got a little too aggressive. Because that's what I should have done. Instead of hurting my own guy. That would have been a better play. Oh, we are just getting hammered on this right now. Ooh. There you go. They can get lethal here. Oof. Alright, game 3 it is against mono black enchantment deck. Oh, we're still in it because they actually hurt themselves. Oh, what do we do here? I don't have enough though. I don't have enough to come back. We'll go to the next one. They had too much on the board, and we screwed up on sacking our own guy. Oh, maybe, my friends, maybe we can get something else here. Agonize Remorse wouldn't be bad in here either. All right, we'll try it again. We just had a bad start. I do like what we have. We know that's the enchantment decks. We just got to be careful. We did build the board state faster than they did last time, so let's see if we can do it again. We will play first. All right, we got a decent start here. Double red would be nice, but we didn't get it. If they have their Goonie, that is going to be our problem. So they're definitely going to kill our guy. The pain is real. The pain is real. We'll go woe first. That I can live with. That I can live with. So we can do two things here. Make him bigger. And steal this guy. I don't need the life. Don't want Archfiend to get going there either. Do I keep the Enforcer or do I look? I think we look. That I can take for now. So we go 2. 3 life, discard. I think we do this. And then I think we do that. And then, how many does this need though? 4 other cards. We're not going to do that. We'll try and maybe pull back. We can get 2. No, not yet. Or we'll discard next turn and put Demonic Embrace on Blackborn Rogue. Was this 8 or more? 7. Shoot. This is a tough play here. We're going to go here. We're going to get rid of this. if we can get Woe Strider on the board, we'll be sitting in the spot that we need to be. It's going to be close, though. So now we have 8. All we need to do is steal some. If they get one thing on the board, we just need to steal one thing. That gives us 2 damage. So we can do a couple things here, actually. Here's what we're going to do. Oh, we don't have 5, though. I think... What's the play? What's the play? 8? Serrated's going to hurt. We're going to pull Serrated. Oh, but he has Menace. Ah, we're good. I got it. There's the play. Ah, I knew it was there. Boom, we saw it. We paused, we waited, we saw it, we came, we conquered. Done. Check. Planeswalkers. Awesome, awesome deck. All in today, great best of 1, great best of 3. Had a ton of fun with this aggro deck. I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, this was one that went 6+ wins in a row in Platinum to Mythic. So awesome to see some of these cool new decks that are out there. Very, very fun, very aggressive as we saw. So if you got questions or comments, please ask down below. Again, Planeswalkers, here is the list for you. Additionally, the list is down below in the description, so please feel free to leverage those, and the links are down below as well. Again, all in, great matches today. Super excited to play this one, and showed well. So with that said, Planeswalkers, as always, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, if you liked the video, please like it. You can also like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this. And lastly, don't forget, you can follow the journey down below as well. All right, Planeswalkers, you stay safe. Stay tuned. Happy Halloween again for those of you that celebrate. And looking forward to bringing more top decks, more cool decks. Lots of fun stuff here for the new season of November. Stay tuned. Take care. Mythras out.